Hey, my name is PolishLynx, welcome to Sunrider, the Liberation Day return! Without that, actually, but never mind that. We have 3 endings, right now we are going with the 4th one. Obviously, I'm following the Asaga endings right now, so... She was chosen, the first possible choice. And now we have the second choice that we have to change after all. We can save the crewmen, but also we can avoid blowing out our cover. So basically, that's what we actually are going to do. That's right, we are changing the rules of the game somehow, and what we are following. So after that, I don't really know what to expect. Let's go with this. Shh, I still had my mission to prevent the massacre. I can't afford to blow my cover here. She'll shut the gate. The hallway's on fire. We won't be going back out this way. Follow me! Claude led him further through the tunnel to another gate. The duo jumped off from the service tunnel into Auxiliary Control Center C. This was where redundant controls for most of the Sunrider's offensive countermeasures were located. Tsh. A green sight awaited shields. Dead bodies of crewmen were scattered across the room, while consoles and machinery hissed steam. The comms still echoed through the room. This bridge, requesting hell darts at coordinates 92-1927 stat. I repeat, this is bridge requesting hell darts at coordinates 92-1927. Auxiliary control, do you copy? Even if all he could do right now was hide, he could still do this. Shields ran over to console and pounded in the coordinates. One route of hell darts coming up! He pounded to the fire button. From here, he had no idea whether his actions even did anything. Did the hell darts hit? Were they all intercepted by enemy flank? Was this console even functional? His fist clenched. Without the battle map, he knew nothing. All this time, he had never even realized how helpless most of the crew must feel during battle, just performing their roles, completely blind to the overall tactical situation. Captain, we've got a new problem! Claude opened the door to Auxiliary Control, revealing a gnarly sight. The bloody bodies of crewmen were strewn throughout the hall. What in the hells? These men weren't killed by explosions, they were gunned down! What could have... Oh crap, so after all we will find this thing as well. Shields received the answer to his question when a mechanized hunter drone rolled into view. Shit. He slammed the door shut behind him, then threw himself and Claude on the floor. Less than a moment later, the wall was punctuated by a line of machine gun fire, so it would be a bit different. Hunter's drones. Inside the ship, he had received some instruction about invasion drones during his training, but he figured they saw limited practical applications after never encountering one on the field. Indeed, this was the first time he had ever seen them deployed during ship-to-ship operations. There should be a bazooka somewhere near, I guess. Shit, this just makes my life that much more complicated. Get back! Shields carried Claude back up and ran to the opposite end of the room. Just as the drone fired its anti-armor cannon into the door, blowing a hole through a wall large enough for the drone to enter the auxiliary control room, the force of the explosion blew the duo off their feet, their eardrums ringing. Captain, how did that thing get here? Invasion drone. Some battleships fire torpedoes that drill through the hull of the ship, and then drop hunter drones in to take over the ship from the inside. I've never heard about this. Get down! The two clambered behind heavy consoles as the drones sprayed bullets towards them. Holy! Against their onslaught of lead, 2 squishy humans like them were completely outmatched. Wait a minute. You're some kind of god, aren't you? Can't you do something? Just using my powers willy-nilly ain't such a good idea, Captain. Why not? It's really hard to explain when a mechanized drone of death is raining down bullets on my head, okay? Shit. Shields pounded the console in rage. At this rate, they were going to be turned into mincemeat. Isn't there something you can do? Phew, I can't manage this much. Claude reached into her cleavage and pulled out a small pistol. Whether she had materialized the gun using her powers or had merely been packing it between her boobs all this time, he had no idea. He took the pistol. A handgun was obviously not going to even scratch the drone's armor, but it was something. Now armed, he surveyed the room for other tactical advantages. The service gate where they had entered the room was behind them. They could use it to retreat. He also noted canisters of liquid on the seat stored on the opposite end of the room, if he could somehow get to those. We fight! A plan formulated in his mind. Stay here. He waited until the minigun on the drone began to glow bright red, and then rolled up from behind the console to a generator. As he predicted, the drone momentarily paused to let its gun barrels cool off, allowing him to hide safely behind the generator when it began to spew out iron again. Come here, you piece of junk. He popped out from behind cover and taunted the drone closer into the room by sparkling it with a small arms fire. As planned, the drone's unwieldy legs got caught between the crisscross of consoles and generators as it closed in on him. Shields used the opportunity to run across the room, onto an elevated catwalk, out of the firing arc of the minigun. Claude, throw the on-just-seat canisters onto the drone! Okay! Claude scrambled from cover now that the drone was jammed between heavy equipment and reached the storage rack. Actually, that's the solution I thought he would go with. Just as she grabbed the first canister, the drone retracted its wheels into its legs and then simply stepped over the obstacles in the room by walking around like a spider. Shit. Shields ducked down as the drone spun around. Sparks sprayed all around him as the drone showered him with rounds. So much for that idea. He crawled away on the catwalk, using his elevated position to keep himself protected against the drone's assault. Suddenly, a red canister hit the drone squarely on its control tower, making it spin its gun barrels away from him and towards its new assailant. Take that! Oh! Claude realized she was standing in front of enough urgency to light a bonfire the size of a tree just as the drone prepared to gun her down. Fuck. Shields drew his pistol. He would only get one shot at this. His lips cracked in a smile when his shot penetrated the canister of orange seed now sitting directly under the drone, imploding its softly armored underbelly with an bright explosion. The drone partially collapsed as it suddenly suffered catastrophic system damage. Claude, one more! Okay! She tossed another canister towards the drone. She shot at it in midair, forming an enormous quack blue explosion directly next to its head. The drone finally lost power, going limp, once strewed across multiple consoles and generators like an enormous beached octopus. Shields exhaled loudly as he dropped his pistol to the catwalk. He couldn't believe the two of them had downed a hunter drone using just a pistol and some orange seed. They ran to each other and laughed as they embraced each other in relief. Ooh. We did it, Captain? Yeah, we took the sucker down. All of a sudden he realized what he was doing. He awkwardly took his arms off of Claude. Come on, let's get out of here before the repair crews show up. T-minus 53 hours before the Liberation Massacre and some amount of hours before that little girl away enters this mine stream. It skipped by itself, sorry. Okay, so we are... Oh, we are in a different place after all. He spent his passing inside a small cargo crate with Claude. The ship had shook, jostled, but it's the same thing talking. Sneak back. Okay, with Asaga Diruvia, the flags have nothing on me, so that's the same text as in the previous ending, I believe, so let's skip it. And here's another change in choices. We are going to... There's a certain body double seeing our brick right now who looks almost identical to Shigara, so... Yes, this will be our choice this time. So we're gonna take Lynn from the brick, put her under, then swap out Shigara in the sick bay, so that nobody notices. I like it. Now comes explaining the hard part. There's no other way to explain this plan out to Asaga without revealing the truth. Asaga, there's also something else I need to explain. Shoot! There's kind of another kind of shields on board this ship right now. Eh? I mean the prototypes have a copy of you too? Not quite. I'm not actually the captain, you know. I'm actually from the future. That's how I know everything I just told you. To me, I'm just recounting what I've already lived through. Eh? That's like totally awesome, Captain! A real-life time traveler! Holy shit! I dream of something like this happening, but I never actually thought it would actually happen! Asaga hopped up and down like a hyperactive girl upon receiving something like had always wanted her birthday present, and this actually happened, so let's skip it. Yeah, don't worry about everything, we'll do this. Good luck. Claude crashed into the brick with a medical trolley, startling the guards.
We've got a medical emergency!
Huh? It's not minimal, huh?
It looks like a prototype prisoner's contacted a severe case of the cerebral measles. We've got to get her to sickbay on the double before she becomes contagious.
We weren't in of.
Oh, looky here, this is an emergency. Do you think we have time to file the paperwork for that?
Claude loomed over the security guard.
Do you even know what catching the cerebral measles is like, Sergeant? First, you suddenly lose bowel control. You'll be experiencing the most explosive, uncontrollable diarrhea of your life for 3 days. But that's not even the worst part of it. From the 3rd day on, hives will break out all over your body. Pus and blood will slowly leak out everywhere. If left untreated, you'll suffer permanent muscle damage and ultimately death.
Shit! Docs are right! My niece nearly died 4 years ago of the same thing! That's some nasty ass shit! You sure you want to keep the prototype here, Serge? Alright, you've made your point, Doctor. Get her quarantined to sickbay.
Roger!
Claude approached Lynn in her cell.
Hehe, looks like you'll be coming with me. I'm afraid you've contracted a very, very serious virus.
What?
I don't feel. That's what they all say, but in a few hours, you'll be painting the walls with your ass! You'll be thanking me for this later. I'll just sedate you a bit.
What? You fool? You did it?
Oh.
Claude pushed a few buttons on the cell's controls, releasing a sleep gas into the cell. Lynn's eyes lost focus and she dropped down to the floor, unconscious. The brick security staff secured Lynn on top of the medical trolley, handcuffing her to the railing. Claude carted her out with a smile.
Nobody asks any questions when explosive diarrhea is involved.
Alright, 52 hours before massacre, 16 before Mindstream. She'd been through the sickbay, had to distract this timeless Claude in long enough. Alright, so this is the same thing, right? Yes, that's the same thing from what I see right now. Oczywiście. Of course I said it in Polish for some reason. Yeah, that what I said was means of course, but yeah, we steal the horror obviously, and we run away. Solar warning from the past in the future, and we have them. Okay, that's the same text. Okay. We're in this too deep now. We have to keep working together. Okay. Okay, General's God. Yeah, that's the text we've seen. Oh, she woke up again. Yeah. Blah blah blah. If you want to know what happens here, basically go back to other videos. What? What? Suddenly into a scream. My. She fell unconscious as quick as she entered her fit of frenzy. Then she snapped awake, except this time she was different. Huh? You did well to see through my plot shields? He stood in shock. Shirga had just been body jacked. This was now the product leader who was talking to Yura. But I don't think I didn't have a backup plan on my own. All the lights inside the room shut off, or more accurately, every single light inside the ship activated. She's heard the familiar soft droning of the ship's engines sputter out. With nothing running, eerie silence fell over the ship. Then the sound of laser cutter and the clatter of plastic hitting the ground as she grasped. Chairs split in half, shattered in silence. I can't see anything. I know my holo. Shields pulled his hollow out and put it on maximum illumination, casting a weak light over the room. Long shadows surrounded him, filling his heart with dread. He confirmed that Asaga was still safe, however Shigara was now nowhere to be found, that little piece of crap. All that remained were the broken fragments of the chair and cut rope on the floor. Why didn't they check if she had anything on her? A handheld laser cutter, roughly the size of a cigarette, continued to buzz on the floor, until she picked it up and shut it off. Did you see which direction she took off?
Sorry, I couldn't hear anything because of that cutter.
We've been bad. Shit, I made a mistake. I should have known that Shigara, that little piece of crap, could be body jacked at any time. That's exactly what Lynn told me when we escaped on the lifeboat together. All this talk about preventing her from entering the mindstream confused me into thinking we'd be safe as long as we got her before then. No, the reason we have to prevent her from entering the mindstream is to prevent the prototype leader from body jacking her after the leader is dead. Shigara, that little piece of crap, can be body snatched whenever the prototypes want, while their leader is still alive. Wait a minute. Shields looked around and realized that Claude was nowhere to be found as well. Claude? Did Shigara get her? Oh wait, Shigara is powerful enough to take Claude on, even while under the control of Providence, and Claude must have vanished of her own will. Damn it. Now that's... She's explained all the rules of this game. She expects me to figure out the rest on my own, huh? She's probably still watching me, eagerly waiting for my next plan of action.
Claude vanished like into thin air?
And now we have a new huge problem. The prototype leader laid out this trap for us, and we just stepped right into it. The Sunrider's main reactor has been remotely shut off. Without it, we won't be able to get an FTL transmission sent to Fontana. Even worse, we're essentially sitting ducks for the loyalist Pact fleet now, unless we can get power restored ASAP. This ship is going to be destroyed.
How are we gonna do that?
If I can get to engineering, I might be able to restore the ship's power. It's a long shot, but maybe I can undo whatever the prototype has done to our systems. But wait, the Sunrider also has an emergency FTL transmitter which operates on a separate battery pack. It's all the way down at deck 2, section 37, but if we get to it, we could get a message sent to Fontana even without power.
But section 37 is pretty far from here, and who knows how long it will take to restore power.
Asaga has a point. I need to decide which task to prioritize over the other. If we can't restore the ship's power and we're sitting ducks on once packed attacks, yeah, that sure will be problematic. On the other hand, I doubt I can just waltz into engineering and show my face to the entire crew without getting detained by ship security. And if I get captured before relaying the message to Fontana, then we have no choice but to allow that little piece of crap to enter the mindstream, or else we'll all be killed when the prototypes assume control of Fontana's fleet. Meaning I would better send Fontana the warning before revealing myself. We go to the backup com first, then we go to engineering and restore power.
Understood, Captain. Let's get that message sent off to Venture Fab.
50 hours before this, and 14 before this. Shields and Asaga ran to the closest maintenance tunnel and headed down the deck 2.
Hey, so what's up with this backup com anyways? I didn't know we had something like that.
It's one of a few systems which keep operating under battery power when the ship loses power like this. Basically, when the ship's disabled, we need to be able to breathe and call for help. That's why life support and the FTL keep working. It's a lot more limited than the regular ones for. We can only transmit a text message less than 120 characters in length, and the message can only be broadcast on the Intergalactic Distress and Rescue channel. Sorry about that. Another problem is that the batteries are still nowhere powerful enough to power life support for the entire ship. The air's going to get really thin on deck 2 real fast.
I'm sure it won't be any tougher than flying the Rider, but basically this isn't going to be as easy as just crawling to the com room and sending a message.
Yeah, all the lifts and trams are offline as well, so we'll be crawling through about 300 meters of maintenance tunnels.
Alright, lead the way, Captain.
After roughly half an hour of climbing down ladders and crawling through maintenance shafts hardly wider than savage pipes, Shields could begin to see his breath turn into frost vapors. The air was no longer as rich with oxygen, making the trek all the more arduous. The outermost sections of the ship were quickly dissipating heat into space, and life support was slowly losing the battle to keep the extremities of the ship fit for human life. He looked back. Asaga, how are you holding up?
Asaga still looked to be in good condition. A little cold's no problem. Better cold than too hot, cause I'd be drenched with sweat otherwise.
Alright, we're about halfway there. It's only going to get colder from here on out. Keep your body moving, and tell me if you lose sensation through extremities. Understood. Another 40 minutes later, they nearly arrived at their destination. Unfortunately, the latter half of the trip took longer than expected, thanks to the bitter cold. Shield's head spun thanks to the lack of oxygen, which only made the numbness in his fingers and toes worse. Shit, I completely forgot how much I hated the cold. I remember I used to complain to Ava every day during the winter about our school uniforms. The military uniforms we have now are of course made from thermal weave and can retain body heat much better than wool, but we'd need something closer to a plug suit to keep us protected against elements like this. It's shit cold, Captain. It's even more shit cold than the winters at Trivia. Let's finish up here as soon as we can and get out here. I can hardly even talk cause all the snow in my nose frozen. Finally, Shields arrived at a tiny alcove in the tunnel. With trembling hands, he removed the wall panel, exposing the controls of the FTL com. Icicles hung from the com's cables, while a thin layer of frost caked the steel casing. God damn it, this thing had better still be working. He pressed the activation button, but the com showed no signs of life. Shit. What the hell's wrong with this thing? He tried to troubleshoot the problem, making sure all the cables were connected. Finally, he came up a single unplugged cable dangling at the bottom of the case. Unfortunately, the cable slot was now obstructed by a solid block of ice, making it impossible to plug back in. He tried to force the cable steel rod into the receptor, but the hole was completely filled with ice. Frustration bumped instead of him. He had dropped the ball and left this cable unplugged. Was it a member of maintenance crew? A malfunctioning repair drone? His head spun thanks to oxygen deprivation, making it impossible to think logically. Shh, now I have to remain focused. Put, plug, into, receptor. That's what we're here to do. Is something the matter? Someone accidentally left the cable unplugged. I won't be able to turn the com on without it, but the receptor's now frozen solid. Come on! Why is nothing going as planned today all of the days? Shit, Shields racked his brain for a way to through the ice inside the receptor. The plug was hardly larger than a pen. It wouldn't take much heat to melt the ice inside, but without the proper tools. He wasn't thinking properly. He should have come prepared with a blowtorch or something. You know, if you took that thing that was left by that little piece of crap when she ran away, you would have the problem solved, I guess. Hindsight is always 20 out of 20. There's only one option. I'm going to cross the charges on the battery. It will make the power cables overheat and melt the ice away. But won't it also burn out the com too? It's the only option we have left. Thanks to the oxygen deprivation and his grim realization that they would not last much longer in the cold, Shields immediately unplugged the two power cables and crossed the charges without a second thought. As expected, the power connections from the batteries to the com unit began to emit smoke. The smell of acid burned Shields' nose as the power cables suddenly became extremely hot. Suddenly sparks flew from the com box as a conduit burst. Stop! Stop! Shields uncrossed the charges in panic. On the bright side, the ice was now melted from the receptor. That is, if he didn't just blow up the com. He grabbed the cable and successfully plugged it in. Did it work? Or did it just melt the only com we could use to warn Fontana's state? He took a deep breath and turned the com on. He breathed out in relief when it amazingly activated. We're in business. Alright! Damn, I can't believe I actually did a thing like that. If Ava were here, she'd probably murder me. But looks like my luck's still holding. Fontana, you better read this message after everything we went through to send it. Shields used the comms keypad to type out the warning to Fontana and relate it. Now all we can do is pray someone on board Fontana's ship is watching the distress channel and takes the message seriously enough to relay it to Fontana. The look of relief on Asaga's face deflated. True enough, even if I sent the message, there was no guarantee anyone would read it. This was still a long shot. Shields reattached the wall panel, once again closing the com. Come on, we've done all we can here. We need to get deeper into the ship before we freeze to death. No kidding! The duo made their agonizingly slow return to the center of the ship. Their extremities were now completely numb and their consciousness faded in and out because of the thin air. The return trip proved far more difficult than the first expedition. Worse still, since they were heading to Deck 1, they now had to climb up frozen ladders, instead of climbing downwards. This is nuts. I remember the time I had to hike up Mount Destiny for my baptism, but this is even worse. Baptism?
Damn ritual the church expected me to perform. Honestly, nobody believes anymore that the emperor is God. Or anything. I had to climb up the whole mountain and soak myself with water at the peak inside the temple. It was completely televised throughout the planet. Maybe the rival media companies keep pressing their FM to continue tradition because tons of geezers tune in to watch the princess suffer while hiking a 10-kilometer long trail, and then upon reaching the top, they get prime time coverage of a girl dumping a bucket full of water on her nubile young body. I bet they make millions of advertising revenue alone. But this sounds a risk for national television. Well, I was fully clothed in my thermal gown, obviously. I still got soaked though. Anyways, I'm getting bad flashbacks. Must have been hard. I forget sometimes that you're royalty. Honestly, I prefer you just forgot altogether. I'm not really looking forward to going back. In fact, lately, it's been my greatest fear. I'm not the princess anymore. I'm supposed to be the leader of my people now. Whenever that realization sinks in, I never want to lead this ship. I just want to keep flying the blackjack and go on adventures with you. Same. If I go back, I'm going to be chained. Even though I'll be the most powerful person in Ruvia Prime, the throne's going to become my prison. I won't be able to fly the blackjack anymore. I won't be able to be the hero. I'll just have to sit on a fancy chair for the rest of my life and watch Ruvia waste away, just like the prior rulers before me, until eventually I grow old too and I die. Asaga. They rounded the corner and came up on yet another ladder. Asaga doubled down and panted, obviously in no condition to climb up. Let's take a short break, Captain. Do you know if I can climb up another ladder without sleeping? Alright, I need a break too. The two of them crumpled down beside each other. Hey, Captain, I suppose what Claude's saying is right. If we really succeed with this mission, then none of this will ever have happened? Dunno. From what she said, even though this mission will be wiped from history, a new universe where the outcome is the same, but where the time paradox has now been resolved will be created. So in the end, whatever we accomplish here will carry on to the next universe. I think that's the gist of it. Hey Captain, I'm cold. Aren't you supposed to be hugging the girl in a situation like this? I've got to save her! With my body heat, you know! Shields offered Asaga his hand. Their ice-cold hands touched each other, fingers intertwined. They rubbed their fingers against each other, trying to restore color to their deathly white hands. The desperate situation robbed the moment of the intimacy Asaga had hoped for. She inched closer to Shield. Hey Captain, so, In an out-of-character moment, Asaga suddenly lost her words and stared at the ground. That's unusual. This is the first time I've seen the proverbial cat catch your tongue. No, Captain, you know what I'm gonna ask. Do you, still like that piece of crap? No, I never liked her. Sorry. I know it's a dumb thing to ask. And you know what? It's alright if you still have feelings for her somewhere down there. That's unexpected. It's not a deal breaker for me, but as long as you only go out with me from now on. I trusted her. But for a moment she was the only person I lived for, and that was my downfall. Now I'm here to stop her. If I have any feelings for her, I need to control them, for the sake of this mission. The lives of billions are at stake now. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. Yeah, somehow I'm glad to hear that. Asaga leaned against Shields, their bodies finally touching. In both this universe and the one you came from, I'm always on your side, Captain. If you need someone you can depend on, I'll always be here. I won't ever stop protecting you. I'll fight alongside you to the bitter end. Don't say ominous things like that, Asaga. I think you've raised enough dead flags in a single day. We're all going to get out of this alive. Yeah, I guess that's a given, with you here. Fighting for a better future, huh? Even the future changes. I know for sure that my feelings for you will stay the same. You'll still be waiting for me, right? Yup. Asaga. The mission's my #1 priority. But the girls always had feelings for me. I can't ignore her anymore. I was in the wrong. If there is a better future waiting for us, let's spend it together. We still have many adventures ahead of us. It's too soon to retire. Not when we still have villains to defeat. The Sunrider still needs us. The Blackjack still needs you. After all, who's going to save the day without the Sunrider's eyes? Yeah. With that, Asaga warmed herself by falling into Shield's lap. Let me just warm up. Your lap pillow ain't so bad.
I guess you could borrow my lap if it's for the sake of the mission.
That's some reason so stingy.
Sorry, Space Captain first. Boyfriend second.
Lame.
A lesson learned from past experience.
Ah well, I guess I will have to be satisfied with just this much for now then.
Asaga closed her eyes. In complete contrast against her usual fiery attitude as the Sunrider's CAG, she now looked completely defenseless on his lap. For a moment, Shields couldn't help but wonder if he could be doing this. While his memories of the past haven't perfectly crystallized yet, he remembered enough to know that his feelings had been his downfall. Well, I guess I can trust Asaga. I know for sure she's not a spy. At least. With that, Shields put his arms around her. The two of them spent the next few minutes warming themselves. 47 hours before Massacre, 11 between Mainstream. After what seemed like a eternity, the power finally returned to the ship's core. Base side relief as the air once again became thick with oxygen and the frost on the tunnels gradually disappeared. Right, and now that we got the message sent, we still need to restore the ship's power. The only way to do that is to head to engineering and figure out just what that little piece of crap's done to the main reactor. Looks like there's no way around revealing ourselves to the crew for this.
Alright, I'll keep a lookout and make sure the other cutter ships doesn't show up.
Okay, I'll go down there and see.
Before ships could finish, the ship shook as a massive explosion bent the hull. Ah, damn. What was that? There's only one thing that could win. We're under attack.
Shit, this didn't happen in my timeline. We've already altered the course of history by revealing ourselves to the prototype leader before the final battle. Is she now going to use this opportunity to kill us all here? Come on. Let's find out what's going on. Shields opened the tunnel's gate and entered engineering. Crewmen scrambled as the ship shook. Pipes burst throughout the room, spewing clouds of vapor. Without any power, the ship was both toothless and blind. Shit, I should have seen this coming. Of course the prototypes would exploit an opportunity like this to sink the ship. Shields ran to the reactor's control and found Gary furiously pounding away on the console. Gary, what's the situation?
Huh? What are you doing here, Captain? Aren't you supposed to be on the bridge?
No use. Without power, there's nothing we can do.
Huh? I don't really know what's going on either, but the reactor's somehow been completely shut off. But now that you're here, I might be able to trigger the assembling and manual reboot.
The ship took another hit, knocking the two of them off their feet.
Ah, damn it!
Shield screamed to a crewman.
What's the situation? Sir! Cross Nest reports that the Pack fleet has advanced our position. The combat fleet is trying to hold back, but they are getting decimated by a new enemy rider, unlike anything we've ever seen before.
New enemy rider. Shit, that can only mean... Yeah, that can only mean she'll still vividly remember the terrifying power of the Nightmare Ascendant. Only with the combined fleet, Fontana's ships and the Sunrider at full capacity acting together did they manage to take it down in his timeline. But now he had no idea whether Fontana's ships were even operational, while his own vessel was completely shut down. In other words, unless he found a way to restore power, they were all going to be dead in moments.
Cap, as I was saying, there's a way to turn the reactor back on, but problems, you're going to have to go inside the reactor first.
Oh boy, I'm already not liking the sound of this.
I don't know how, but whoever shut the ship down managed to get his hands on Shigara's, that little piece of crap's command ID. The only two people who have higher access clearance are you and the commander. I've managed to rewire the engineering base security grid to permit an override. Only problem is that the hack requires you to swipe your command ID on the reactor's internal control relay.
Why the hell is that inside the reactor?
The console's just used for maintenance tasks when the reactor's been shut off, but basically, that's the only console in engineering the perpetrator of this attack didn't have access to.
Are you sure?
Thanks to that, I was able to open up a backdoor to gain control over the reactor system through it. Don't worry, you'll have 20 seconds after you swap your command ID on the slot before the reactor turns back on. Just climb back up once it's done.
You've gotta be kidding me. However, when the Sunrider took another massive hit, causing a beam to drop down from the ceiling and smash a row of consoles, Shields realized he didn't have any time to complain.
God damn it! He grit his teeth and pulled himself over to the other side of the railing which blocked off the reactor shaft. In reality, the steel column in front of him was merely the tip of the reactor. Below him, a massive clasp actually housed the majority of the Sunrider's fusion reactor, which was shaped like an enormous sprouting onion. He jumped off the ledge onto a ladder, leading down into the reactor's bulb-like bottom.
Just as he grabbed on the ladder, the ship took another hit. Oh shit! Oh shit! He lost his footing and hung on the ladder for dear life as his legs flayed below him. He managed to regain his balance amidst his curses. Worst day ever! He climbed down and spun a steel wheel which opened the reactor's gate. However, the next thing he saw when he entered the reactor made his jaws drop. An enormous cavern of steel, surrounded by all sides by enormous spires. Where the hell is the console? He scanned the spherical dome for anything resembling a workstation to no avail. Finally he gave up and poked his head back outside. Ikari, where the hell is the console? Ikari looked down and hollered back. It should be right there. It's a steel jungle in here. I don't know what's what. For the love of... Aren't you the ship's captain? Captain, not engineer. Ikari nearly fell down the chance herself when an enormous explosion shook the ship. She heard screaming and the crashing of steel above him. What just happened? Nothing. Half of engineering just collapsed, that's all. Look for the 2 red stripes. The console will be between them. 2 red stripes. What? 2 red stripes. Got it! What? Shields re-entered the reactor core and desperately looked around for the red stripes. Red stripes, red stripes. There it is, I see it! He ran across the core as the entire ship rattled. Shield swiped the command ID located on the cuff of his wrist against console's reader. The console screen came to life and displayed various glyphs beyond Shield's comprehension. However, he understood clearly what the countdown timer from 20 meant. I think that means I have to haul us out of here. The reactor began to come back to life. Sparks began to fly from the top of the spires as Shield sprinted across the core. Suddenly, the entire spherical interior began to revolve around the middle circlet where the exit was bored through. What in? Shield's sprint suddenly became futile as the entire room began to revolve the opposite direction of where he was running. Wrong way! Shield turned around and ran the other direction. The gate fast approached him as the revolving floor now added to his speed. He had to jump at exactly the right time and grab on the exit passage. He jumped and grabbed on the ledge of the gate as the entirety of the reactor core revolved around him. The sparks of energy at the tip of the spires began to glow brighter and brighter. With the last of his strength, he heaved himself through the gate and clambered onto the ladder, shutting the gate behind him and spinning the wheel as quickly as he could master. Just as the gate locked, the ship came back to life. Power is back! He heard the satisfying triumph of the Sunrider's AA guns as they woke from their slumber. Whew. Oh! Grinning with triumph, Shields climbed up the ladder and grabbed onto Ikari's hand. You did it! Overcome with joy, Ikari Shields embraced. Shields suddenly realized what he was doing and pulled himself off the mercenary. Oh yeah. Good job with the fix, Ikari. You too, Captain. What? It's not like I cut you because I like you or anything. I was just relieved, that's all. Alright. Thank you for your participation in this little operation, Ikari. But don't you have a certain plan to go back to? Oh, what's your prop? Too many things get into your head or something? Anyways, it looks like turning on the reactor back on scared packed back for now. Their celebration was abruptly cut short when a squad of marines suddenly burst into engineering. Damn it! Again? Seriously? I saved you! What the... To their dismay, a wall of rifles formed in front of the group. Freeze! Oh, what's the big deal? Who ordered this? The captain and I just saved the ship from getting blown up, and you grunts decide to point your guns at us? Ah man, you guys are all gonna be fired for this. Ikari's grin was still plastered on her face when the wall of marines split in half to reveal a familiar face. That's not the captain, Ikari. There's a spy who turned off our reactor. Okay, you fucking Kato. Now don't give me this bullshit. Who turned it off? Who? I turned it on, you dumbass. Ikari's grin vaporized as her jaws dropped and her eyes darted from one Kato shield to other. You must be dreaming. Yep, this has got to be a dream. It's not a dream, but the person beside you is the real Kato Shields. Ikari, he's the one who just saved the ship, remember? Asaga, I don't know what the imposter's been telling you, but there's no questioning. Now I'm the real Kato Shields here. Don't worry, you're just confused right now, but you will be safe soon. No way! Hello there, Captain! I don't even like you anymore. I think I'll stick with just this Kato Shields, thank you very much. Just then Shigara appeared beside the other shields. Ah, great, so there's the reason why my other self thinks I'm the one who sabotaged the reactor, that little bitch! This one, Captain, his prototype, there's no doubt about it. He kidnapped me and forced me to shut the ship's reactor down. It was all planned to render us defenseless so Punk can launch their surprise attack. That bitch! You see, there's no reason for you guys to get caught up into this too. Just let's clear taking the imposter. In fact, you all need to sort out to defend the ship. Ah, come on, myself. Don't just snap up Shigara's words so easy without a second thought. While the other ship's attention was diverted, Shigara's body snared at him. She's still under Prototype's control. Shit. Everything's still going according to a plan. The Marines approach the rifles down. Do I make a break for it while I can? Shit, but if we hide inside the ship, it's only a matter of time until the other ships captures me again. And now that we've banged our first kidnapping attempt, there's no way I'm going to be able to capture that little piece of cargo again before she sorties for the final battle. I could try escaping the ship with Saga on the rider and hatch a new plan to encapsulate that little piece of crap after battle, but before the massacre. Just then another familiar face appeared. Captain, the Emperor Ascendant is coming back for another pass. And I've got even worse news. What could be worse than this? Winter Fontaine has just contacted us. He has discovered Trojan bed in his ship system. If he enters the battle now, the Prototypes will assume control of his fleet using their quantum brain waves and the deceive mounted or plan. His best minds are working to remove the virus, but he cannot be sure that his ships will be ready in time, meaning we must assume that the Allied Pact fleet, will be unable to assist us in the coming battle. Well, it looks like my message got through at least, but the message still came too late for Fontaine to devise a countermeasure. What are our options? Sure. Captain, I believe I know a way to defeat the virus. I can use the Elber's comm dishes to directly enter the Prototypes. This maestro, while they're emitting the brain waves, will cause so much interest in their thoughts that they'll be unable to control the Allied ships. Can we really do that? Do it too? Yeah, you have to trust me, Captain. Don't! Captain, proceeding with this plan with full knowledge that the Allied Pact ships have been sabotaged places the combined fleet in great danger. If our chief engineer sent to surprise brainwaves, then our total destruction is all but guaranteed. No, she can't do it. No, she can't. We just have to trust her. No! Are you fucking kidding me? Despite every damn thing I've done to change the path, my other self still decides to go down the exact same path as before. Full trust was blabbled in child's vines. Shit, you're making a mistake. It's Shigara who's the Prototype. She's being controlled as we speak right now. If she enters the mainstream, everything you've worked for will be destroyed. Shields glared down shields. That's enough for your eyes, Prototype. You guys have been trying to tear this ship apart from the moment Lynn set foot in our brig, but your allies have no power here. We're one family on board this ship and you are talking bullshit again. Bullshit, bullshit. Nice speech, Captain, but you're the only completely blunt to the truth. The Marines trained their rifles on shields as he stared at his other self with anguish. Yeah, only he could understand what his other self was feeling at this moment. The sorrow, the emptiness. This man had lost his entire family and hedged all his bets on his new one. The shittiest one possible, and that bet was about to burn everything else he had left to ash. I need to figure out a way to end this. I managed to warn Fontana and restore power to the ship, meaning incapacitating that little piece of crap, the only thing left. Come think of it, there's another possibility. In my timeline, when Shigara entered the mainstream, Asaga went berserk and nearly killed her. Given what I've changed this timeline, it's obvious that Asaga's not going to attack Shigara and I'm in a fit of jealousy again. But we could still stage a repeat of an incident by having Asaga attack the Liberty. But ignoring the fact that Asaga's attempt fails in my timeline. This universe's cloud has been tasked by the Prototypes with protecting that little piece of crap, meaning the old cloud will stop Asaga again if that little piece of crap mission is even threatened. And think how we're all standing at gunpoint right now, I don't think I'll be able to do anything to put Old Cloud or the Bianca out of commission. If only the other Cloud was here. Getting Asaga to attack the Liberty is too much of a long shot at this rate. I've already altered the timeline too much. This Asaga is not going to be able to repeat history. We need to escape from the ship and rethink our approach. From this position on, I can assume that things will proceed the same way as in the past. Shields whispered to Asaga. We're going to make a run for it. We need to escape the ship on the Blackjack. Think you can do that for me? Alright, Captain, leave it to me! But despite that, escape was not going to be easy. Not with a row of rifles trained on shields. Today, I'm finally gonna become the hero! Oh yeah! Asaga's eyes glow bright blue as she weakened. She bull rushed towards the Marines, throwing them off guard. Oh shit. The Marines took the rifles of shields and aimed at Asaga. He took the moment to draw his pistol and unload his clip on the Marines' shins.
Running with superhuman speed, Asaga slid into the nearest marine's legs with her foot, knocking him to the ground. She rolled out of the way just as shock rounds shattered against the floor where she was sitting just a second ago. More marines strained their rifles on her and loosed shock rounds, but Asaga dodged them with ease, her supercharged brain processing information 10 times quicker than usual. To her burning blue eyes, all of the marines' movements appeared sluggish and the shock rounds swarmed towards her in slow motion. Asaga crashed into a marine, knocking him down. Superpower notwithstanding, she was still an untrained girl. CQC was not her strong suit. Shit, Captain, this way! Ava grabbed hold of the other Kaito shields before he could protest and shoved him out of engineering. Overheard the klaxon rang. Shields dived behind the console as shock rounds pounded his position. He peered over the console and saw a horde of marines in the hallway outside of engineering coming in to reinforce the injured squad. Way too many for them to handle. Ah shit, this is nuts. Ikari pounded the console. Fire retardant sprays activated throughout the room, and the engineering gate sealed shut, locking the reinforcements out. Ikari, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I just saw you save the ship. And from what I just saw of the logic bomb that shut down the reactor, I'm thinking what you're saying about the chief actually is right. She's the best. So, looks like you can count me in this, Cap. Alright, let us escape the ship. Copy. The trio entered the thick cloud of fire retardant now spreading through the floor of engineering. The nearest maintenance tunnel leading to the hangars on the second floor. Come on, we gotta get up to the catwalks. Their luck ran out when stun round whizzed past them and ricocheted off the wall. Shields grimaced as a round grazed his face, burning a gash across his cheek. The stun rounds were the security team's primary non-lethal weapon, with a maximum range of 40 meters. The rounds could be fired from a standard tissue rifle at low velocities to empty itself inside the target's tissue and deliver an incapacitating electric shock, while still not usually penetrating internal organs. Keyword, usually. Shields saw two marines clad in full body armor approaching their position in their rifles firing. Suddenly Ikari emerged from the clouds beside them and delivered a flying kick to the right marine's helmet. The other marine spun around to face her and pumped her full of stun rounds, but in a single well-practiced maneuver, Ikari unbuckled the first marine's vest and held him in front of her. The unfurnished marine gasped as he was pelted with stun rounds and crumpled to the ground, twitching as 10,000 volts of electricity coursed through his body. Ouch. Ikari performed a forward flip, kicking the other marine's rifle to the floor while he was still recoiling from shooting his compatriot. She then dropped to the ground and blew his shin out using the fallen marine's rifle. He howled and fell to his knees. He was swiftly knocked out when Ikari pounded the back of his head with the butt of her new rifle. Holy, Ikari wasn't kidding about being a contract assassin. Tap, catch! Ikari tossed the second rifle to Shields. He grabbed it and checked its ammo. 20 stun rounds and 3 bullets. Be careful, the stun rounds won't penetrate their armor! Despite that, he only loaded the stun rounds. He was still the captain of the ship. He wasn't about to start gunning down his own security team. It's not really your security team. I'll cover you while you climb the ladder. Don't worry about me. They're coming in to capture us, don't kill. Alright, good luck, Ikari. No prob, I'll see you later. With that, Shields and Asaga left Ikari on the floor of engineering and clambered up the ladder. They ran across the catwalk and stun rounds pelted their position, bouncing off the walls and the railings. Damn it! Shields shot shock rounds back as he ran, at least trying to force the marines back into cover. Just then, the entire ship, large as a massive explosion, reverberated throughout the hall, sending Shields and Asaga tumbling to their faces. Shit, that can only mean that the Nightmare Ascendant's back on for another round. But maybe we could use this chance as an opening. Shields picked himself and Asaga back up and sprinted across the catwalk. The sudden explosion proved an unexpected blessing as the shock rounds momentarily ceased. Below him, Shields heard the firing of a rifle and grounds as Ikari dispatched more marines under the cover of the fire retardant. Come on, Asaga, here's our chance. The two of them reached the maintenance tunnel and leaped through the gate. They scrambled down to the hangar as the entire ship rumbled and rattled. Shields and Asaga emerged from the maintenance tunnel on one deck below. They scrambled to the hangar as fast as their feet would carry them. They arrived at the Sunrider's enormous hangar. The blackjack's too far away. Come on, let's grab that! Asaga pointed to a row of small buggies in the entrance. The entire floor of the hangar was approximately 200 meters across, necessitating the use of motor vehicles to quickly traverse the distance.
Just then the horde of Marines appeared running down the hallway. They trained their rifles and sent shock rounds ricocheting past shields. Go, 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 go! The two of them scrambled to the buggy.
I drive, you shoot!
Asaga put the pedal to the metal as Shields wrapped his arm around Asaga's chest while holding his rifle in the other. Nice. Behind them, a half dozen Marines managed to command their buggies of their own and took off after them. But right now, his concentration level should really peaking high levels because of, well, that touch, magical touch. Once the buggy finished accelerating, Shields spun around and trained his rifle on the nearest Marine, burning rubber behind them. He unloaded shock rounds at him, to no effect. Shit. He gritted his teeth and loaded the bullets into the rifle. As long as he aimed for their buggies, the Marines would probably survive. He took aim and shot the other buggy's tire out. It went to a screeching spin, throwing the Marine off and sending him spinning across the hangar floor. One done. Suddenly, a forklift carrying a crate of riders' munitions pulled out in front of him. Ah, hang on! Shields wrapped his arms around Asaga and hung on for dear life as Asaga swerved around the forklift. They passed the steel frame of the forklift no further than a few centimeters from their faces. Gee! Captain! Shields realized that his hands were clenched on Asaga's boobs. He eventually let go and spun around. Coping the feel in a moment like this? Yeah, perf! It was just... He was cut off when shock rounds flew by close enough to graze his hair. He raised his rifle, just 2 bullets left. He opened fire. Sparks flew from the front grate of the nearest enemy buggy, but otherwise had no effect. Damn. How about this? Asaga went in once more and directed their buggy into the steel lattice work of the Paladin's maintenance bay. Hooyah! Are you crazy? A bit. Steel frames flew past Shields as Asaga weaved the buggy through the maintenance bay, narrowly avoiding colliding into hangar crew and cargo crates. None of the Marines dared follow them into the maintenance base and opened fire behind them, the shock rounds bouncing harmlessly off the steel jungle. Shields put his head down as their buggy roared through the Phoenix's maintenance bay and arrived beside the Blackjack. That was insane! The two of them jumped off the buggy and sprinted up the Blackjack loading platform while shock rounds pelted their position. I should hope this thing can accommodate too. Get us out of here, Asaga. Asaga shut the cockpit and activated the Blackjack. Gary's voice came through the launch tower. I managed to clear out the control crew, meaning this place. Blackjack, you're clear to overlaunch. Okay. We owe you one, Ikari. Seriously. Once this is all over, I think you're gonna owe me some drinks, as well as a dang good explanation. Until then, I'll be waiting. Godspeed. The hangar alarm rang and the crew scrambled out as the main airlock opened. The Blackjack locked onto the linear rail. Oh, I forgot to put on my black suit. Hang on, that's gonna be... The G's are gonna be crazy. Oh, great. Ooh. Shields braced himself against the cockpit's spherical wall as the lunar rail flung the Blackjack out of the hangar. Everything became a blur as the blood in his body flowed to the back of his body. The Blackjack emerged out of the front of the ship into a field of fire. Flank rounds exploded around them, while laser beams split the black void of space like thunder. I think I know where this is actually going, and yeah. Alliance and Pact ships were tangled at the dagger range, pounding each other with kinetic rounds. Ships exploded around them, as swarms of riders spiraled around the ships, bombers trying to take down larger ships with missiles, while interceptors cut down the bombers with assault rounds. Let's get out of here while everyone's too busy trying to kill each other! You might want to hang on. Asaga spun the Blackjack around sharply, sending Shields tumbling to the opposite end of the cockpit. A beam of laser cut through where the Blackjack was located a split second before. Alarms blared throughout the cockpit as 7 prototype riders approached the Blackjack in a flying V. Looks like your ex's friends are hot on our tail. They are not my ex's friends. Going out with the most popular guy in the galaxy, sure plane. Asaga jumped her joystick forward and sent the Blackjack on a dive as laser beams surrounded the cockpit. Shields flew to the roof, then did somersaults around the circumference on the cockpit sphere when Asaga spun the Blackjack into barrel roll. Spears of light flew between the Blackjack's legs, tails and arms, but somehow never once struck the rider. Suddenly, all the lights in the cockpit turned red and a shrill alarm blared. Missile lock, shit! Shields rolled on the floor and felt his face get pancaked downwards as Asaga pulled into a high G-loop and spun the Blackjack around. A swarm of over 50 angry missiles streamed towards them.
Hiya! Asaga's eyes once again ignited blue as she flew the blackjack in reverse, between two opposing battleships exchanging kinetic rounds at dagger range. She sprayed assault rounds at the missiles, lighting the skies with explosions as, all the while, were waving her rider backwards through the battleship's flak nets. The rest of the missiles blew as they hit the battleship's flak wall. A pair of ambitious prototype units gave chase, while the other 5 split into groups and circled around outside of the battleship's flak radius. "We're gonna shake these guns! Come on, baby, dance!" She kicked her foot pedal upwards, hitting the reverse boosters. The prototype rider came flying towards the blackjack as it rapidly decelerated. At the last moment, Asaga flipped the joystick and activated the beam saber, turning the blackjack into a whirlwind of blades as the prototype unit sailed past. Like a buzzsaw, the blackjack's beam saber sliced the prototype unit into 3 sections. Asaga punched the booster's edge, the remains of the enemy exploded into a fireball behind them. Blood dripped down her nose. "Running out of juice, been awake too much." Explosions rattled the cockpit as the second prototype unit sprayed them with pulse rounds. Asaga pulled upward, sending the prototype unit chasing after her. "Look behind you!" Completely focused on the blackjack, the second unit never realized that Asaga had lured it directly in front of the Alliance battleship's kinetic turret. Not even a shred of the prototype unit survived when the Alliance battleship blew its load at point-blank range, completely vaporizing the rider. The remaining 5 riders covered and rushed for the blackjack at the same time, attempting to overwhelm their adversary with sheer numbers. They unleashed their pulse rounds, scraping the paint of the blackjack's armor. Huh? What was that animation? The light in Asaga's eyes flickered on and off as she began to reach her limit. "Captain, need your help." She rolled the blackjack, sending shields trembling across the cockpit, and then pulled into the dive, tossing him onto her lap. "Eh? Need more juice." Shield's head spun from being tossed about in the cockpit. Before he knew what was happening, Asaga picked his face off her lap and pressed their lips together. And power up. Their tongues crossed each other. Asaga stays filled Shield's mouth. Asaga gasped as they separated. Energy restored! The flame in her eyes burst into a fireball. The blackjack rapidly accelerated. Shields wrapped his body around Asaga and hung on for dear life. The 5 prototype units shot towards them in a ring formation, spewing pulse rounds. He clenched every muscle in his body as the blackjack accelerated, pointed exactly at the center of the ring of hostiles. At the very last moment, Asaga pulled into a barrel roll and shot the blackjack's shoulder-mounted particle guns. Shield's jaws dropped when 4 laser beams emerged from the spinning blackjack, slicing all 5 prototypes' riders apart simultaneously as the blackjack barrel rolled through the ring formation. Lights lit near the rear of the cockpit as they exploded in a massive ring of fire. Pentakill! That was insane. How come you never do shit like that when I'm commanding you? Ah, well, that was a man called Bones. Saga smiled coyly. You won't believe what a head job will get you. Idiot, get us out of here before more of them show up. His heart sank when a new massive rider appeared before them, one which sucked terror into Shield's heart. Shit. So this is where you were heading. But this is where your mission ends. The Nightmare Ascendant raised its particle gun and took aim. But before it could fire, it was enveloped in explosions. Enix and Paladin coming to assist! Yeah, I'm your enemy, prototype! The Phoenix raced ahead and came at the Nightmare Ascendant katana drone. The Nightmare Ascendant made the Phoenix's blade with its own. In a grand display of its overwhelming strength, the Ascendant showed the Phoenix away like a titan pushing back the violent hero who had dared stand against it, and maybe it will be actually different than what I predicted actually. We're distracted. Asaga, you know what you have to do! Shield's heart pounded as the blackjack hit its thrusters, leaving the Nightmare Ascendant to Ikari and Kriska. Okay, so maybe it will be like I was expecting. You guys better watch! Whack that thing good for me! You too, don't die! Shields balled his hand into fists. He decided with all his heart to remain with the others for the battle, but his own mission was too great to abandon. I can only trust in the other girls. Come on, my other self, you had better pull through. With that, the blackjack left the battle behind and vanished into the abyss of space. T-minus 3 hours before the Liberation Day massacre. Yeah, so this is going where I expected it to be going. We'll have actually an easy choice, you know, but she pissed me off, so I don't even need to think about what I will choose then. Yeah, I know the options. I know the options because I have the guide turned on actually, so sorry about that, but you know. Shields waited with Saga on the upper balcony of the Ward Hall. They had waited at this position for the better part of the past 20 hours. Shields had the advantage of knowing where the celebration party was going to be held in advance. Thanks to his dramatic escape from the Sunrider, security at the celebration would certainly be on the lookout for him, but they would never expect that he had already arrived at the site hours before when the battle, much less the party location, was even decided. News of the liberation of Syrah had finally hit the Holonet. After a night of desperate fighting, the tide of the battle had finally turned when the little piece of crap devised a method to interfere with the prototype's brainwaves by entering their mindstream. This allowed Winchar Fontana to regain control of his ships and launch a devastating pincer attack on the remaining Crowlized Fact forces. When the prototype leader fell on the Nightmare Ascendant, all remaining Pad Vessels surrendered unconditionally. Winchar Fontana, newly instated leader of Pact, shortly thereafter announced his intent to sign a peace treaty with the Solar Alliance, wherein Pact relinquished all military control over the Neutrarium. A victory celebration wherein that little piece of crap would be awarded with a Ferlin Cross was announced as well. For nothing. Something she didn't deserve, after all. Basically, nothing's changed from the past. Everything we did up to this point was meaningless. But now is the time when we can make everything right. The time's finally come. Shields looked down to the stage from the balcony, a perfect sniper's perch. He was approximately 150 meters from where that little piece of crap would stand at the stage to accept the medal, which she didn't deserve, and then drove a pair of hunter drones into the hall, and will destroy them. Too far for shock rounds, but more than close enough to snipe her dead. Shields closed his eyes. This was the only option he had left. Everything else had failed. Piece of crap? His heart pounded. Sweat mated his uniform. This would be where he would kill the person he never loved. Asaga wrapped her arms around him. We're finally here. Oh, Captain, we're here to kill her, aren't we? It's the only way we can stop her now. Shields swallowed. I'll be the one to do it. This is my mission. It's the reason why I was sent here. I'm going to be the only one to bear this burden. It is me to carry. Doing his best to force a smile on his face, Shields put his hand on top of Saga's head and patted her soft hair. You just stand guard. Make sure our position is detected. Alright. The two of them once again sat down and waited. Finally, the moment came. The award hall was filled with guests. Shields grabbed the rifle and looked down through his scope. Sure enough, he could see himself and that little piece of carpet sitting in front table. She stood and walked towards the stage. This is it. Sweat dripped down his nose, despite the air-conditioned hall. He could hear his temples pounding as blood coursed through his head. If his heart pounded any longer, he feared he would go deaf. He trained the cross hairs between Shigara's eyes. That little piece of crap. All he would have to do is pull the trigger. Then none of the nightmares of the past would happen. The Admiral would not be shot before his very eyes. I don't like the Admiral as well, so you know, if I remember correctly, he was the first one to be shot down, so let her shoot him, and then you enter. That's a good solution. I know it's not really nice, but you know. You need the proof she's bad. The Alliance officers would not be gunned down. The Alliance would not attempt to unleash the tactical paradox core upon his home world. Taxi would not be thrust into a massive war to the bitter end. His ship would not be lost in final suicide attack. He would instead return home at the end of a hard-fought war. He would finally return to that mountain and bury his sister. Bury her so deep that her ghost would no longer haunt him in his nightmares. Aye. Memories flash by in his head. Please, no! No! I had to skip it, sorry. Alright, I will do this because I need the achievement later on with that choice. But obviously I don't hesitate and pull the trigger. Shields peeled his eyes open and summoned all the strength in his body, or else he knew he would back out at the last moment. He channeled everything he had within him to his finger and pulled the trigger. The single sharp crack of the rifle echoed through the hall. She took the bullet directly to the head. Shields kept his eyes open. The back of her skull burst open, splattering the floor with her brain and blood.
She crumpled to the floor, her face contorting with pain. Finally, her face came to rest, upon an expression of relief. Alice had finally died, leaving Shigara with just a split second of knowledge that Alice's final desperate plan to destroy all that they had accomplished had failed. The light faded from her eyes as she realized Alice's defeat. With that, Alliance servicemen burst into the room and evacuated the Alliance's dignitaries. Everyone else ran from the room, crouched down and covering their heads, except for the other shields, who ran to the stage and crowded her dead body. The massacre was thwarted. The future was saved. Shields crumpled down to the floor, sobbing. He had succeeded. I did it. I changed history. Won. And yet he felt nothing but a black void in his heart. Asaga embraced him with all her heart, trying to comfort him in his darkest moment. You did it, Captain. You saved everyone. We won. Asaga. He sobbed into her shoulder. I killed her. Yeah. And in the end, she was relieved. Oh, Captain, stop it! Stop crying like that. We're supposed to be happy, alright? We won! We won! We won! Why are you crying like that? Exactly. If you don't stop, then I will... No, you don't! She was my friend. Okay, Asaga's face crumpled. She fell to the floor in tears. Shields sobbed in horror at what he had just done. But there was no hesitation in choice. The world around him faded to white. Paradox triggered and the universe ended. New universe was born in its place. Mostly happy, where massacre did not exist, but also one where Shields never got over the scars he received through his desperate mission to liberate Sierra. What? Okay, I am looking forward to what happened to him actually. I would go with the other option actually, because the other option is the normal end, and what we did now was the alternative end, but she pissed me with telling that I, turned off the generator and so on. Happens! You know I hate her as well. Happens. Alright, so I think I will manage to get the I will easily manage to get the other ending today as well, because it's only one choice, and I saved there. Shield sat on his bed in his apartment. Alright, so what do you have here? I don't really see what's written on this poster here. There is a Murray photo. A poster of Homeward. It's a free game from Love in Space as well, in case you don't know. Played it. Made only one road on YouTube for. But I guess that's enough actually. Alright. 5 years had passed since he thwarted the prototype's plan to assassinate Admiral Grey and the Alliance military leaders. In the universe which resulted from his actions, the timeline was as follows. Skytor Shields discovered that his chief engineer was a prototype, spy thanks to a misplaced hololab by her accomplice, the ship's doctor. He managed to thwart the mass assassination by sniping her dead during the award ceremony, moments before she carried out the attack. While he was briefly detained by the Alliance after he turned himself in, the ensuing investigation uncovered undeniable evidence of her plot, completely vindicating Shields. In the end, he ended up being the one to receive a medal. Yet, killing her changed Shields forever. Shortly after the restoration of Sierra, High Command Shields transferred himself to a minor desk job, far away from galactic fame. Instead, he lived out the following years as a recluse, never once again setting out to space again. Every night he struggled through nightmares, where he was visited by the rotting corpses of her and his dead sister. I understand the second one, the first one not really. Every night their ghosts reminded him of a single truth, that he had failed to save them. Nah, the first one not really, man. Eventually he became an insomniac and had to be medicated to be able to function normally. His sole source of comfort was his loving wife Asaga. Yet their relationship was far from easy either. When they first eloped, rumors spread throughout Rovia Prime that their queen had abandoned her people in pursuit of romance. In the end, she was scandalized in the press, forcing her to abdicate the throne. Shortly thereafter, she vanished from public view and settled down with shields on Sira. Asaga's once cheerful personality vanished, and she became quiet and distant in adulthood. Are you kidding me? That's the alternative end. It sucks. She was so cheerful and amazed. While Shields fell deeper into depression, Asaga watched over him with nothing but a sad smile. Every night she stroked his head until he finally pretended to be asleep. Seeing Asaga's reputation get torn up because of him only fueled Shields' guilt. Come on! That's bullcrap. Really, man? Why would you be depressed? Why would you feel depressed after that little piece of crap? Yet he didn't have the motivation to do something as drastic as kill himself. Instead, he merely left an enormous numbness. The numbness of no longer having a purpose. For the rest of his life, he would merely wander on, working at his civil servant job, picking up the usual paycheck, and grow old with Asaga, until they finally disappeared from the face of the planet. Huh. Well, looks like you managed to thwart the massacre, but you still mostly screw up in the end, cause she ended up escaping. Escaping when you kidnapped her. The ship lost all power and the warning wasn't relayed to Fontana in time. If you hadn't shot at the very end, things would pretty much have ended exactly the same as the main story. Try again, and this time, don't waste time trying to restore the Sunrider's main reactor. Instead, find a way to prevent Alice from assuming control of her during the kidnapping attempt, and the reactor won't be shut down in the first place. Well, thank you, Claude, but I already know this. I've done this before. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll be able to figure it out, Captain. Thanks. Alright, let's end this for now. But I don't know yet. If the other ending from Asaga's endings will be short, I will somehow merge it into one, but if it can be done like 15 plus minutes, then it will be a separate part as well, so we'll make another choice, the choice I don't really like making, so we'll not shoot her. For I really feel like pulling the trigger again, but yeah. To complete all the roles we have to do this, and to get all the achievements I have to do this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, more or less. And well, I guess some people might still find it annoying that I act towards that little girl. Shigara's name is hers. Really like a dick, but I just it's not possible to hold back that, okay? Sorry. But that's how it is. I'm just glad there are no endings with her, so yeah. Hope you enjoyed this, and well, see you in a second, or see you in the next episode, I don't know yet, so yeah. We'll see. Bye bye.